The Micromark HO Scale Truck Tuner, a tool you'll want to add to your toolbox. One tool that will improve every piece of rolling stock on your layout. So here we have pretty much everything we'll need to go through this. And our main item is the Micromark Truck Tuner. You can see it has the one simple end it fits in, and then the one grooved end. And this is what cuts into the plastic trucks. We have a donor truck here from our gondola. Nice Athearn car. And you want to remove the wheels on this. And if you're going to remove a lot, you can do it by hand, but your hands will get beat up after a while. So I use a little pliers. It's got round tips on it to grab it and spread it and take out the old wheel set. This is also an easier way to put in the truck tuner. Just slide one end in, put it in there. Now that it's in place of the wheels, you want to spin it. And you can do this by hand, and you can even hold the trucks together a little more, get more tension. If you're going to do a lot of these like I do, you might even want to put it down and just roll it back and forth to save on your fingers. So now it does one side. Open it up, flip it over, and do the same thing. And there you're done with that. And then you go on to the next one. And obviously you have to do this 4 times per car. Unless you have a schnabel car, and then you'll be here all day. But you roll that back and forth. And what this does is create that perfect 60-degree angle inside the trucks to make everything roll better. And now that you've made everything work better, we're going to want to change wheel sets. You want to go with all metal wheel sets. So let's talk about that for a moment. So now we've got the freight car truck all tuned up. We want to fix the wheels. And we get our NMRA gauge out. And this is why these plastic wheel sets are notorious for being out of gauge. This is another tool I highly recommend, is the NMRA gauge. It's so useful. So these are usually out of gauge and you have to play with them, mess with them. I recommend Intermountain wheels, 33, 36 inches. I get them from my friend up at Becker's Supply. I'll give you that link here. These are always in gauge. These are always perfect. I put these in the truck after I've cleaned it out, and it should just spin and spin and spin and spin, and you have a free rolling truck then. So Intermountain wheels. So one more thing you can do is you want to paint the wheels, and you want to make them look rusty. In the prototype world, they're not allowed to paint wheels because that would hide any cracks or defects. So you just want to make them look dirty and grimy. Get a standard brown paint. And I like using any one of these disposable brushes and getting the paint and just making the circle in there. I know they have holders that you can put these in and it'll hold them and you can spray paint them. But the problem with that is you'll get paint on the little points. And you want that totally clear so that'll roll. Now the other tip I'm going to give you, and this is my top tip of the day, is once you've done this, once you've finished with these trucks, and you see I have a little Craftsmart paint pen here. This is bright orange. Shake that up. Once you've done a truck, I like to mark it on the bottom. So I got a little orange dot. No one's going to see that but you. That way you can look back and see if you've done a car or not. Here's one of my ore cars. You can see I've got orange dots. I know both of these trucks are tuned up. And you can see the orange dot on the coupler. That also has to do with weight and everything else. But I know if I pick that up that I have done the work on that. So I recommend getting one of these tuners, and you'll have it for the entire life of your railroading. Get a little pliers, sit down on the bench, and get your cars a lot more free rolling. So now you're asking, what do I do with all these old plastic trucks? Well, you can dispose of them or make up a gondola load, or if you have a rip track, a repair track, I've taken them and added a detail bearing cap on them. And I've put them over on my rip track, painted them rusty brown to look like new trucks that have been delivered, and they're sitting waiting for the crews to put them on a car that needs new wheels. And let's go take a look at that scene. So here's my rip track, and we go over to the wheel thing, and you can see I've got the rails set into the dirt. I've got the wheels set here, my spare ones. I've got bearing caps on all of them. I had a guy coming to check them. And that's just like the prototype. And that's why they'd use this concrete pad, and they'd jack this car up and roll out the trucks and then put in new wheels. So if you have some left over, that's a neat little scene to add. You can use a variety of shapes, from the 28-inch wheels for auto racks up to the 36-inch wheels. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, hit the like button. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. We'll try and do a lot more of these 10-minute tips. And we'll see you next time from the Splitrock Mining Company.
Yeah.